Head in the clouds, or under the weather. More late nights of the same old shite than you care to remember. Rough as a stone, light as a feather. You're on top of the world, do you smile looking down, or inside with the lava? They tell you nothing is free, only thing guaranteed is a load up of lava. Head in the clouds, or under the weather. Having your fun with 2 weeks in the sun and the rest is December. But something's repeated, it's blood in your vision, and it's cut in a shape like a hot razor blade with a deadly precision. Now you're caught in a game you don't know how to play, but you win by decision. The Bonnie is burning, the craziest feeling. Down in your guts where you hide all the things you don't want to be heeded. The feeling is building, you try not to fight it. So you try to be cool but then act like a fool. You don't know how to hide it, 'cause it feels like a dream that you're through and going to final and skydive. The answer is steady, though you're not very clever. You're still stupid enough to know that you can't run forever. On your mind every day, 'cause the pain goes away anytime you're together. Take a trip to the jungle, become a magician. Find an army of wise old shaman and hope that they cure your condition. No more satellite navigation to reach your possession. I don't know if you're really in love, but I have my suspicions.
It was Gerry Cinnamon with Head in the Clouds. We'll explain why I played that tune after this. Are you ready, Craig?
Aye.
Yes, folks, we're lively and here, man. So you're ready now, Craig? I take it. You're usually ready after the fact, so that's
hypes me up, man. Hypes me up.
It gets you ready every time, man. I like it. I like it. So it's been an eventful day, actually. To be fair, the day has been pretty good, like as far as releases for us.
You had a burger, didn't we? Is that what you were talking about?
No, not at all.
What you were talking
but we
about?
did have a burger today, which is it.
I didn't lie. That was true.
No. I'm sure the people in the podcast will be excited to hear
double
about
cheeseburger, actually.
Double cheeseburger. The wee van. Just to shout about the wee van. What's it called?
Shouts out to the wee van and leaving.
The wee van and the prom. What the fuck do you call that place?
Leaving prom van.
We should kin that place. I like that wee place, man.
It's called Leaving Prom Burger Van.
The Leaving Prom Burger Van. Shouts out to
next to that circle thing behind the pool. That big circle building that looks like it might be a public toilet at some point.
I'm not sure. Nah, I reckon.
But I reckon what it is.
So we had a double cheeseburger there. Really, really great place. Really enjoy all the food there. So shout out to the lassie that works there. Can't remember her name.
Shout out to our dad who owns it.
Aye, totally.
Although he's a capitalist, so.
It's one of the things.
The first against the wall.
So we had a burger and we had a couple of releases today as well. I've also seen a great productivity raising in my video editing as well.
Oh, aye, I haven't.
No, nah. Well, you didn't do any
I
video
didn't do
editing.
anything.
You do some clips during the week. You do a bit more than me.
Aye, I kind of ride it in the sunset after your hard work.
Basically, aye. So,
But then I bring the brains.
Aye.
So you got to sort of weigh out, don't you? What
Totally.
you bring in labour, I bring in theory.
There you go.
So
I can't even say I bring the brawn. I just really bring the editing. It's really like not the bulk of my work. But I've seen a wee bit of like just being able to get through the videos like really quickly. I found like another way of doing it, and the project fails. It's really boring for anybody, so I'm not going to go into it. But
I'm glad you brought it up.
No. The process is really fucking very simple, and it's pointless to bring up. But I thought it was an interesting wee thing. My productivity's up. We had a double cheeseburger. We've had 2 releases today in our BTN clips playlist on Facebook. They're both local legends. The planning and that there was no planning. Sorry, we should have.
There was planning. I'm the brains.
What's happened is
That's just luck.
Complete,
That's God's will.
God's will, mate. God's will.
God's will.
I didn't like giving him much.
No, but this time he did do us a favour.
Aye.
He brought down the fucking legend that is Reverend. No, he's no Reverend, is he? Is that offensive?
I think he was always a Reverend.
Was he Reverend?
Aye,
Reverend Baxter.
Reverend Richard Baxter, local Kennewy legend.
Yes, mate.
And also other Kennewy legend, Bob McPhail.
Yes. Not as big a legend as Mr. Baxter.
Nah. Because
Bob didn't write Strike a Light. So
no, he certainly didn't. And I think he had no part in that.
fuck Bob,
whatsoever.
really.
Aye,
is
fuck
what
Bob,
I'm saying
truly.
here.
Aye.
Unless you could write Strike a Light,
Then you're nothing.
I didn't care about you.
You're really nothing.
Although we were speaking to Bob about his newfound fame.
Aye.
If we'd been on the You Call That Radio podcast.
That's it. It was a great podcast to
No,
watch.
you call that video now, innit?
You call that video, aye. The Quarantine Stream by Mr. Martin McGee. We'll hope to get him on the podcast at some point. He's really fucking busy though. It's really hard to get a hold of him.
He does a wee bit more than us.
A lot of fucking... Well, he's on every day.
We do videos on him, so we win.
I suppose technically, aye. But he's on every day doing like a live video podcast. A lot more buttons involved and shit. So
also, he kens people, so it's easy for him to get...
He's quite a well-known guy.
Easier for him to get guests.
Quite a well-known guy, so...
Whereas we've no pals.
We have to fight or offer money or sexual favours.
To be fair...
The sexual favours never work.
We've never had to pay anybody.
No, it's been great. It's
been pretty good so far.
Pretty good, aye.
Have we had anybody ask?
No.
Well, we had people ask, but
have we had people ask?
No. Well,
yes.
Dominatrix,
yes.
The dominatrix try. Dominate try.
Aye. It wasn't Mr. Sinker, but it was somebody
plural
else.
Of
it was somebody
dominatrix.
else, aye.
Dominate try.
We tried to absolutely push my luck asking about getting Colt Cabana on because he was going to be in Edinburgh at the time. And I think, jokingly, because I think it's him that handles his emails and stuff like that, I don't think he actually has like a management thing to go through that. Maybe he does, I don't know. But he just asked straight up for 400 quid to do it.
To be fair,
big name, and especially not just big name in wrestling, but big name in like the podcast industry because his podcast is like one of the biggest wrestling podcasts.
could you imagine?
Aye, and he's
if we had 400 quid?
I would have done it.
I would have totally done that.
Because that could have been a fucking complete opener for us as well.
And suddenly we're the biggest podcast in Scotland. That'd be fucking weird.
Is there others?
James Kelly. James
English.
Aye.
I didn't
That's
think
how big he is.
I didn't think we would have bypassed that, to be fair, with just Colt Cabana.
To be fair...
Although, Colt Cabana's like worldwide renowned. Sorry, there's no just...
I think the thing is, though, that you could build on that.
Aye, totally.
You could then say, but hang on. You go to Bear Kreischer, right? You go, hang on. We've had Colt Cabana on. You think you're too big to come on?
Aye, we've had Colt Cabana, Bob McPhail, Reverend Richard Baxter for local Kennewy.
We had Mr. Sinker.
Get what I mean?
What are you?
Who do you think you are, mate?
There again, Bear Kreischer did have Mistress Lily Liliana.
Well, he's also had Colt Cabana on as well.
Is he? Bastard.
Aye. He's on a Mark Maron show as well.
Yeah. Mark Maron, Schmack Farn. Who gives a shit? You could have used one of your...
Oh, no.
There you go.
Just to bring this up, I've got the... What?
Crickets would have worked there as well.
Oh, totally, yeah. I've got the sound effects working again.
Look, I'm dissing myself. Like, I use that one to fucking shit on me.
I just have to remember the years. So we've got all this sound effects. We've got, of course, and your edited version of this.
MF.
Nice fade. That's what we're looking for.
Leave it, aye.
There you go.
Leave it.
That's it. So I've edited that. That's for the All That Dope Shit podcast, the hip hop podcast we do every Tuesday. I know this is the wrong podcast, but that's the...
They shouldn't be hearing that.
It's one of the... Should keep them completely separate.
That's exclusive for the other podcast.
Exclusive for the other... So,
we're not the same people.
So, if you like really good hip hop, go and check that out.
Do you reckon we're different people on each podcast?
Nah.
Because I reckon this one we're a bit more dumb.
I don't think so, because we're pretty dumb on the other one as well. We've had laughs with MCs about, like... Well, shit, we talked about Kinetic. About... Like, he was talking about, like, how he's getting in the professional sort of, like, advertising game and stuff like that. And
Aye.
He was talking about, like, using podcasting for ads marketing and stuff like that.
He was talking about being, like, gold tier, and we're scum tier.
We're, like, scum tier.
Bin tier.
And so I think we're pretty much the same on both podcasts.
That's fair.
Different reasoning for the different podcasts, but
Aye.
that's the thing.
I mean, we've played hip-hop on this one.
Alright, somebody asked me this, before we go into the samples and stuff, somebody asked me this the other day, and it was Tom Berwick.
Aye. Shout out to Tom Berwick.
What do you hope today on the podcast in the future? And he was like, you hoping for like big guests and stuff like that? And I was like, well, to be fair, we have spoken about this before. Like, the actual aim at the beginning was just to get weird guests on that we liked and enjoyed. So we didn't really have much of an aim for it. It was just to get guests on, really.
Aye.
But I like the idea of remaining a kind of local podcast, that people, like, anything happens locally, they feel like they need to come on to, like, advertise it or something like that. I feel like getting to that level for me is cool. But I also like to interview bigger guests as well.
Could you imagine, like, how quickly we would both jump on the chance to have Jim Norton sitting here?
Exactly, aye. But also, I like talking to local people as well, and I like talking about, like, local community stuff as well.
Aye.
So it's going to be a bit of a weird podcast in that sense that... Or I could just go like simple radio shows and stuff like that, do that anyway.
Aye.
They have local... So I don't see any problem with that at all.
I think it would be great.
I think it would be fucking amazing.
I think there's no reason why we couldn't be a worldwide...
Because we could, of course, like, the live show could be kept for, like, community stuff. And then we do, like, guest podcasts as well with, like, bigger names.
Yeah.
Lesser known names. And again, we just keep switching it back and forward because there's different audiences for different things. Not everybody's going to like every podcast we do.
We said that at the beginning.
That's
that
exactly
was
it, aye.
Episode 1. Maybe no episode 1. I think episode 6 was when we started really in the podcast.
I think
we said that you're not going to enjoy every podcast.
No.
But everybody's going to enjoy a podcast.
At least one. That's it. Because I've had such a mixture of people on. And so it's pretty cool.
It's weird that we've enjoyed them all. Well, not them all. Some of them we haven't uploaded. Some of them have been shit.
Aye.
But, aye.
There's only 2 guest ones we've not uploaded. But there's been like loads of drunken ones.
There's been ones that we've not liked.
There's drunk ones we've done. By the way, I ken a lot of people. I think Scroobius Pip, if you've never listened to his podcast, he does like a... Or he used to...
everybody got a fucking podcast. Fuck me.
He used to do a monthly thing where it would just be him and 4 or 5 other pals, and they would get together, get drunk, and do a podcast.
Nah, that's terrible.
That's a shitty fucking idea.
They're going to be all part of list.
Even comedians kind of shy away for that a lot of the time as well, because you're just drunk and you're kind of repeating stuff constantly, and it's just boring. We tried it on the anniversary thing. It was decent, because it was like loads of other people. Some people weren't drunk as well.
It was a bit mental.
Some people weren't drunk as well, which is
good. To be
good.
fair though, was it any decent to listen to?
I don't know, because it might have been just back and forth kind of...
Did we guarantee that there was always somebody on the mic?
I think so, aye, we did, aye.
Right, because there was a few times where I remember just being in the kitchen having a munch.
Oh no, there was
and
always...
you were there as well.
I know, we left people to talk as well, which was good. So as parts of the podcast, I wasn't even on.
None of us were on.
None of us were on as well.
It wasn't actually being hosted by us.
And I like that fucking idea, just like even introducing people. We even spoke the other day about getting politicians in, getting them in for a debate, just introducing them.
Having them
saying,
have a conversation.
Just said 3, 2, 1, fight.
I mean, the Scottish elections are coming up soon.
That's what we hope to do.
So it would be pretty cool to do that at some point, hopefully.
Just get 4 politicians in and just say, right, talk.
But then...
Or you could, like, I've done this before with, like, Scottish rappers. I had a bunch in and put a bunch of, like, subjects on the table. And then sort of one picks a subject and says, right, this is the subject.
How do you do that with politicians, though?
A question.
Debt.
A question.
Right.
You ask it, you get questions in for the fucking, for the crowd.
Right.
You put them in a fucking...
The crowd.
The people that are listening in. It might not be that, but then... And again, I'm going to start using like mere samples and stuff like that, and just it's for a bit of fun, really. And we're going to release the phone number quite soon, so I'm going to start that next week. Sort of taking phone calls and stuff. Cause I like that idea. I like the chaos of it.
Indeed.
Because they'll be screened to a certain level. They'll be screened to a certain level, but you never know what fucking might happen. It could be weird, could be awful, could be funny, could be great. You know, you reckon what's going to happen?
It could be everything or nothing.
Exactly. So you suggested you'd want to change someone as well, no?
No, I didn't want to change anything. I wanted to sort of carry on for the...
Sorry, we've spoken for ages. This is 20 past. You should get your news story in right now.
I wanted to sort of carry on for last week, how we were talking about very reasonable, realistic, scientific things.
Right.
Like kinning where stuff is through your mind and count goals.
Telekinesis and stuff like that.
Aye. All reasonable things.
Well.
And there's something else that's quite reasonable this week.
Is that your phone?
Aye. There's another reasonable thing happened this week. And it's a bunch of doctors went in front of Washington, some building in America. And they're from the group called America's Frontline Doctors.
Okay.
And one of the doctors that's gained mass appeal on the very sensible right-wing groups in America is Dr. Stella Emanuel.
Okay.
And their argument right now is that you don't need to be worried about COVID-19.
Alright, here we go.
Because it's not that big a deal.
Right.
And we've got cures for it already.
Oh, they've got cures?
Aye. So they've got a hydroxychloroquine.
I've heard of that,
which is, it was talked about a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Is that not the guy that said it was an iron brew or something?
Aye.
Is that the stuff? The same stuff?
Aye. And it was talked about a month ago because Trump likes it.
That was just, shit.
Delicious. He loves it. And...
just drinks pills and pills it.
WHO and another couple of places were doing studies on it, and they were coming back like, oh, this looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gained a wee bit of traction for a month or two. And then who got rid of the studies because it was starting to cause heart rhythm problems, and it was basically more dangerous to take it than it was to get cured by it, because the amount you need to get any good effect is quite fucking dangerous.
Right.
It's a bit like a vitamin B12. You take too much, it's like cyanide poisoning, so you're going to end up dying and shit. But it's a big thing in alternative health communities and shit like that.
No.
I may have mixed it up, but anyway, doesn't matter. Some other things that Dr. Dr. Stella Emanuel believes.
Here we go.
She believes that gynecological problems are caused by people having sex in their dreams with demons and witches.
Jesus Christ. That went way further than I was expecting.
She believes that alien DNA is currently being used in medical treatments.
Jesus.
Scientists have plans to install microchips in people and are developing a vaccine to prevent people from being religious. That's number 3. There's 12 of these.
Oh yeah, fucker. Did they get worse and worse or just bad?
Well, they're pretty realistic and reasonable.
Jesus Christ.
Government is run in part by reptilians and other aliens.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. We've seen lizard queens and stuff.
Absolutely.
The magic 8-ball toy is psychic and part of a scheme to get children used to witchcraft.
Jesus fuck.
Hydroxychloroquine cures COVID-19 and protective face masks aren't necessary. That one's pretty mainstream. Like, that's no too... I mean, it's a bit mental, but it's no too mental. The Illuminati has a plan hatched by a witch to destroy the world using abortion, gay marriage, and children's toys.
It's a lot of stuff to use.
A lot of witches. She's into witches. I don't know why she hates witches.
What's all this?
Because she's straight for the fucking 16th century.
Is she for Salem? Jesus Christ.
Harry Potter and...
Oh, not the Wizards.
Harry Potter and Wizards of Waverly Place are part of a scheme to introduce children to spirits and witches. Again, witches.
Wait.
Yes.
A scheme to introduce... She believes in all these witches things.
Yes.
And she's moaning about people being introduced to it.
But it's being... She believes that witches are being normalised as opposed to...
Right, aye.
She's a very reasonable person.
So it's good for her then, basically. She thinks that's a good thing.
No, she thinks it's a bad thing, because they shouldn't be normalised. They should be cast away by God. She's also a Christian pastor.
Cast away.
Christian pastor, so... Perfect.
Cast away.
9. Schools teach children to meditate so they can meet with demons.
Fucking hell.
10. Gay marriage will lead to adults marrying children, and gay Americans are practicing homosexual terrorism. Children need to be whipped.
Fair.
Bit kinky, but... Jesus Christ will destroy Facebook servers if her videos aren't restored to the platform.
Incredible.
That was a few days ago, that last one.
That's amazing.
I shared that on Facebook, or tweet about that. So perfectly reasonable.
Perfectly reasonable women.
There's no reason why you shouldn't believe that COVID-19 could be cured by hydroxychloroquine.
No.
Because everything else that she believes is perfectly reasonable.
She sounds like an incredible woman.
She is, and she's real. She's actually got an MD.
Right.
Like a legitimate medical qualification.
Did she steal it for somebody else called Stella Emanuel?
She got it in a...
You got the history up
she
there,
didn't get it in the. She didn't get it in the US. She's from Cameroon.
Okay. Is Cameroon though the place where like the voodoo and stuff is like highly believed and stuff?
They can. There's quite a lot of countries in Africa that believe in all that shit.
Aye, that's it.
Although, to be fair, another thing that's quite popular in Africa, especially amongst like politicians and like big, powerful people, like people that own universities, is corruption. So,
I thought it was like a mystical thing. No, corruption. No, that's...
It's not totally out of the realms of possibility that she just paid to get the qualifications and has no fucking idea what she's talking about.
See, when you were able to say what I thought was going to be a mystical thing, I was going to press the mystical thing button, but if I just said corruption, it went ding, it would be fucking weird.
Well, I mean, as I've said before, that I ken somebody that stays in Indonesia who has a driver's license, but not because she passed a test. She's paid the person to give her a driver's license.
Paid to get it, So it's pretty incredible, so many places.
I couldn't do that.
No, you're not allowed.
No, I'm not allowed. I would get fucking backhanded. So I thought, since we spoke so much about things last week, I felt it's only natural that we carry on with realism and reasonable.
Absolutely, aye, that's it.
Reasonable beliefs.
And you've done that right there.
I have done that. And quite happy with that. So what do you think about that? Do you like that?
I like it. I do like it. It's a lot of fucking nonsense, obviously.
No. It's perfectly realistic. I'm struggling.
That fucking woman. Incredible. Just incredible.
Brilliant. Love it.
Aye. Amazing.
Okay, what else is funny?
What?
Morning talk shows.
Oh, we're watching Martin. We've spoken about that one.
Oh, hey, I'm gay. Yeah.
I just came on and said that. It's great, man. It's great. Came out today, next week.
He's really sarcastic. I hate him.
Next week, because it's no much a long clip, but you want to go through it next week.
What do you mean go through it?
Like, we'll play the clip.
Sure.
Because I feel like that's better. We'll go through and play the clip.
We're just going to copy what Jim and Sam
basically, done. Because I want to go for...
Cool.
Because it's...
Should we get Mark Norman on the podcast?
If we can. And I'm sure we can.
Should we email him just for funsies?
I will, actually, just email him for funsies.
No, didn't he? Because he hates watching it. Did you see his face when they put it on? He was like, I can't watch this.
He doesn't like watching himself. He's quite a...
He's quite a realistic person.
It's just the way it is. It's pretty awesome.
Love that show. I would love to do that now. Just to see Just kidding that a lot of my favourite comedians have went on morning TV just to fuck with them. That makes me want to go on TV.
That's it. So we basically went on morning TV and just like tried to like stick within the realms of like being allowed on TV, but push the boundaries quite incredibly.
Aye.
And kind of fuck with the host.
Well, the kind of...
Because it's not only just him that's fucked with that specific host. Tom Segura's been on.
Bobby
Lee. There's been like other comedians.
I reckon if they fucked with that specific host...
I reckon. But they all get
Bobby Lee definitely did.
They all get booked to that same comedy club. And the guy takes them into the show to...
That's part of the contract, so...
Right, so next week we'll talk about Mark Normand and we'll play the clip and that'll be cool.
Indeed.
We'll be up for that. Okay, excellent. So, as mentioned earlier, did we mention it earlier? We've got Susan Wilkinson coming on. She's a co-op member pioneer. She does sort of loads of work.
She stole my job.
So basically, that was the job you said you'd be interested in as well. Just sort of like liaising with different like community groups and stuff like that on behalf of the co-op.
It's basically, I was going to do it to fulfil my political career. Because my plan is to become a big councillor. And then, through my popularity, my overwhelming popularity, being a councillor, I would then go into Scottish Parliament, and through my overwhelming popularity in Scottish Parliament, I would then become king. And she's ruined that for me now, so brilliant.
Unfortunate. It's I'm really getting these samples out and they go like I'm really using them. Yeah, so we've got again Susan will be on after this next song. We're going to play Cara Rose, Learn to Speak.
You better slow down. You're gonna hurt yourself. Slow down. You commit your life to the paper. You don't leave no time for fun. Words thrown through the air between you and me. I wish we'd learn to speak. You don't have to shout and walk out on me. Just speak. And you say to me, go out for one to help unwind your mind. But when it's me, I have a problem, and I never ever say no. And you say to me, too. Why don't you try a little better? I'll try better too. Come on, let's not lose our minds. your soul.
That was Cara Rose with Learn to Speak. Also, it would be great if Spotify would learn to play. Sometimes it's really, really quite irritating. It's one of the annoying things.
Well played.
That's one of the annoying things that happens. Spotify can decide now and again just to pause for a wee second, like it did a wee while ago. So, just unfortunate. One of the annoying things.
You're super happy about that, Joe.
I am, and I will never stop smiling. But we're going to bring in Susan Wilkinson from the Co-op. How are you doing, Susan?
I'm doing great, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
That's excellent, no problem at all. That's, we got an ad on Twitter, I think it was maybe like a couple of weeks ago from yourself.
Application process for the local community fund. And that's where groups like the Kenway Men's Shed, for instance, about 1% of everything they spend on our goods goes into the fund. So all the money spent in the Kenway store is put in the fund, and then it's put back into the community. So the community groups can apply for that money. It's not going to the big charities that we do fund in other ways. This is to get the money straight back into the community from the people that are spending in the community.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money. So if you think about 1% of everything that's spent in the co-op, you're looking at maybe £7,000 to £10,000 per group, depending on the size of the store.
Right.
So it can make a big difference for each group. And I'm not sure, because we've just closed, how many groups applied. We only had 2 about a week before the applications closed. So maybe 1 or 2 more, but there's not a huge amount of competition in that area. So there's a good chance that the groups are going to get the funding.
Yeah.
The next round, we will let people know what's happening. Then the community can vote for who they want, and the fund will be split depending on how the vote goes. So the more people that vote for instance, the Kenway Shed or the Methil Children's groups, the money will go there, and we'll be handing that out in the spring next year. So and we're also doing other. Sorry.
On you go.
I was just going to mention. I was going to mention another group. There's quite a few food groups. So we're looking at food share at the moment. I'm covering Kenway, Leven, Methil, Haven, and then Beast. So I was for instance, visiting It's Your Choice in Methil yesterday.
Oh, I've seen that. Aye.
They're a fantastic group. They're not a food bank. They're a cooperative, but they're a non-profit cooperative. So they get money donated to them. They also get food donated to them. They buy stuff in as well. You can join for £5 a year, and then you can go in, do a shop. Instead of prices on the items, there's points. So, for instance, a tin of steak is 1 point, which is worth about 20 pence. Okay. A tray of fresh chicken legs is 2 points. It's about 40 pence. So you can put together a meal for the family for under £1, and you can spend up to £4 worth of points, but you get a heck of a lot for your money.
That sounds like a cool idea.
Well, we've got loads of food that hasn't gone off. It's still in sell-by date, but it's close to sell-by date. So we're toughing it in a skip, which is horrific.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that. We want to give it to groups, and any group, non-profit group in the area can apply. Let us know. We'll put you in touch with the stores nearby, and we can get that food that's close to sell-by date out into the community for free. We'll just give you it.
Is it so? Did you have anything to do with, because like on the, I think it was like when you use your membership cards at Co-op and stuff, you got like some points. You remember this thing on the website? Do you have anything to do with that? You like involved in that side of things as well?
Sure. So when you're spending, you're getting your points. You're also putting points. A percentage of everything that goes on that card goes into the community, the local community fund. So we know you've spent it in that store and it goes back into that store. And if you go onto the Co-op website, you can then vote for where your money goes. So the groups that have applied will be listed on the site. They're not up yet, but they will be soon. You'll see who's benefited this year as well, and you can decide where your money goes. You'll also get an email through if you're registered with us for email saying it's time for you to vote. Come and tell us what you want to spend your money on.
Excellent.
And that's how you get to choose where your spend goes.
This is Co-op's like one of the very few supermarkets that are like really, really community based, and like you've spoken about that before as well, Craig. The idea that they're just like a really good shop.
It's a cooperative, it's a workers' cooperative, and that's kind of the stuff that I'm into. And so, because it's a workers' cooperative, they're more willing to have lower profits in order to help community groups and to give the workers something and to help the people that are spending there. I mean, if you become a member, you end up getting a share of the profits as well. So it's, I'm a big fan of the Co-op.
Defo. So, did you work at the Co-op before you got offered this job, or like what happened with that?
No, I'm an interior designer, and I'm on furlough at the moment because it's really hard to design interiors when you're not meant to be near other people.
I can imagine that. Do you just find yourself re-interior decorating your own house?
Actually, it took a while, when you're sort of sitting there going, I should be doing something, but I'll go and mow the lawn. I've painted all the garden furniture. I've painted the front of the house. I've redecorated 2 rooms. And it's the same things, builders, plumbers. You generally don't do things in your own house. So
that's
if
it.
you're needing a job,
done.
we're needing a banister painted.
we're just about to start painting our banister and all that stuff. We've got loads of stuff coming up.
I can come and give you some advice on what colour scheme to use.
Nice.
Totally.
You got a wire brush? We need one of them.
You see, that's trades. What I do is then employ the tradespeople come in and do the hard work. Yeah, I'm the one that floats about with a scarf on, talking about colour schemes and bling.
Oh, right.
Yes. Craig's got in his head right now 60-minute makeover, because we were talking about that the other day. No?
I love that programme. I do sit there just going, oh my God, what have they done?
Well, that's the idea of that programme is just absolutely amazing. Like we were talking about, like if you could just get 60 or 70 mates like for the day, for 1 hour, and just say, right, 8 people paint the living room, like another 8 up here, another 8 in the next room, and you could have that done in 1 hour. The amazing stuff they could do. It might be shite.
Because would you trust any of your friends?
But that's what I'm saying. On 60-minute makeover, they've got like really good guys that are doing it. And I didn't, of course not. I didn't.
They're fine.
They do actually know what they're doing. But that's cooperative working, you see.
That's it.
Everybody working together, common good.
This is what I'm all about.
See, this is the thing.
That's why I'm not a Tory.
If we could put this into place right now, right? If you were to get your street together, right? And you get like maybe one person or like whoever was willing to help from each household, and then you go around each house, and everybody does an hour in everybody's house. Everybody's house and the whole street could be decorated.
Do you know, everybody in the whole street would have to clean their houses first out of the shame?
That'll be fine. I'll be quite happy to do that.
We've started to clean our house, so we're number 56, so we would be last. We've got loads of time.
You've got plenty of time.
We've got plenty of time. Although saying that, after 56 days, you're a bit. That's almost.
But you've got 56 other houses to decorate before you get to yours.
But again, only for an hour.
You would have got all the best ideas by that point and seen all the mistakes.
Think of the community. Think of the community aspect of that as well. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful idea.
That'd be fantastic fun. I love that. I'm writing this down because we're always looking for plans and ways to get the community together. Yeah, community decoration.
See, Craig said at the beginning.
Might be easier once.
Craig said at the beginning that he's the brains of this podcast. It turns out I am. There you go.
Hey, there you go.
Well, to be fair, you ruined the first part of this interview for me.
I certainly did.
I had to leave the room because you couldn't speak properly, I started laughing.
Aye, that was it.
That was a big issue. Right at the beginning of the interview, I did not catch the first 10 minutes of what you were saying because Stephen said something wrong. I started laughing and I had to leave the room.
Because it was extremely rude of you to
It was extremely rude. Because it sounded... Well, I wasn't listening. But it wasn't my fault. I had to...
It's just one of the magical things that happens on this podcast.
That's the first time that's happened here.
I've really got into using these samples. Sorry about that, Susan. So what
was your first job?
I tried to think what you said.
No, it was
it was like my first question. I mumbled it and then went back on what I said. And if you listen back, you'll hear the absolute mess I made of that first question for you.
What?
That's what
That was what got me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Incredible.
Right.
Oh, it was better than my 2-hour dissertation I just gave you because I just started speaking and then couldn't stop.
It's all good. That's what I want to hear, though. That's good.
I have no idea what was said.
So you had a question.
It's fascinating. Listen to it back.
I will totally listen to it back. But what was the first thing that you done when you got the job? What was the first day like?
The very first day I spent on the phone to HQ trying to get my password to work. That was fun. I can't get into my email, right? I'm in my email. I can't get into the hub. The second day, after I'd done all that, I was straight on social media, speaking to my friends as well, because I live in the area, finding out which groups seem to be needing the most help, especially with the situation we're in at the moment with coronavirus.
Yeah.
There's a big push because that was we're supposed to have closed the community fund, but at that point we only had 2 applicants for the fund, and we had a heap of money that we really wanted to split up a little bit because sometimes giving a group too much, then I'm struggling to spend it in a year can be difficult. Yeah. So I was looking for at least one more group to get in and apply for that cash so that we can get it spread fairly throughout the community. That was my first week. And making contacts and speaking to people. And my job's just chatting to people. It's lovely. Then, hello, what can I do for you? I've got a big pile of money. Would you like some?
That's a great job.
That sounds like a great job.
Use the form. It's really short. I'll fill it in for you, and you just give me the details. So it is a lovely job.
That was actually a job that I was going to apply for. So you technically stole my job.
I'm so glad you didn't get it.
I ended up not applying for it because I felt like it was
go very fast.
I felt like it would be a bit cheeky for me to be on the podcast and then I work for this company that might be helping out groups that I'm already working. I didn't feel like it would be right
because we tried
weirdly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say weirdly. That's actually what we're looking for is people who are already very engaged in the community and know the groups.
Well, if you ever need a break,
so, I will. Yeah. Do you know what? I've got a strenuous. I work 4 hours a week. It's hard.
Yeah, that's another reason I was going to apply for it.
I did go 4 hours a week. Oh, I can manage that.
So,
we're looking for somebody for Kirkcaldy.
Oh no, I don't know.
I know very little but down there. Down there,
far, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, all the way down
there's a KFC there, so.
Well, there is a KFC. That's it. Is this interview included in your 4 hours?
Yes.
Is it?
I'm getting paid for this.
Excellent.
We'll make sure and drag it as long as you like.
I was going to say, would you like us to drag this out a wee bit longer?
No, because I'm way over my 4 hours anyway. I think they've done this. It's 4 hours a week, and then you get really enthusiastic and go, I've done 12 hours, but I can only put 4 hours on my time card. I'm not.
Yeah, they're relying on that.
Better at that.
I think they're going to rely on that. Like once you get into the community work, you're like, this is jamming. I love this, especially when I'm on furlough.
Well, they keep saying to us because they're telling us don't overdo it. Stick to your hours because it's the co-op ethics are the big things. You've got to be paid for the time that you do. So we've been told when you go on Twitter, set your alarm, and after 15 minutes, you have to put your phone down and run away.
Right.
Because otherwise, you just get sucked into chatting to folk and finding out what everybody's doing, and 2 hours later, you've done your week's work.
So I guess it's just like an online timesheet.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out because it's got to be in tomorrow, and this is my first month, and I have no idea what all the codes mean. So, let's hope that works.
Excellent.
But yeah, everything's online. There is no paperwork, so I'm sitting there going, I don't know how to work this. So I've been on our WhatsApp group trying to get somebody else to help me fill it in.
Nice.
That's a good thing. So we've got lots of lovely colleagues who help each other out. It's a very friendly place to work.
That was actually the hardest bit in my last job, was the timesheet.
Was it?
Just caring where to put everything in.
Oh, right. See, I worked with Fife Council, but it was years ago, and the timesheet was very, very easy. So I've never had any issue. Like, nowadays, I say that like it's a totally mad thing. Like, nowadays you have to go on the computer and do your timetables, and it's mad.
I mean, back in the day when it was just a case of you tick a box.
Well, that
was you at work.
That was basically it. Aye, that's all I seem today.
Oh,
but anyway, it's been great having you on, Susan. That's been magical.
It's been lovely, and I've been enjoying the show. Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you want to promote, or?
Just to let people know about the food share in the area, if you go onto the Co-op website, you'll see food share. Click on that. It's www.coop.co.uk, and just click on food, and it'll take you to food share. Register your group, and it can be for anything. This is sort of, food banks can apply, but it's to get beyond the food banks.
Right.
So if you are going to be doing a group thing for the brownies, or a socially distanced coffee morning, or whatever, come and get some food. If you're running a shelter, come and get some food.
Mm-hmm.
You register on there, and we can do that. There's also a website called Cooperate. I'll ask you guys to put up on your Twitter page later.
Aye.
And if you register and Cooperate, you can register your community group, and we'll do your advertising for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll find you volunteers. I will be sitting there for 1 or 4 hours a week looking for volunteers just for you, and we'll let people know through the stores and through the Co-op's networks. So we can do a lot of work for you that way, and it's all free.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bit everybody likes.
People
like free.
Well, I was going to suggest. I was going to suggest for the food share thing. What about a local podcast got in touch, and for maybe for if we're having because we were talking about earlier getting a debate with a bunch of politicians in, maybe a wee buffet or something.
Brilliant.
I don't know. It's maybe a silly idea, but
I've got no idea what you're talking. Quick question. You were talking about there was 2 groups applying for funding.
Yes.
What happens with community councils? Does that count as a community group, or is that something separate?
Community councils, we'll have to find out. Remember, I'm new. They should be able to, because they're properly constituted, you've got to be properly constituted to have a separate bank account, that side of things. So, yeah, I can't see why not. If you're doing anything to you want to distribute food, can't see a problem with that at all. Yeah, community council would.
Well, I don't know when the next community council meeting is going to be, but I could certainly bring it up.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Absolutely. And if you're wanting me to drop along or take part, I'm on my community council. I actually, although I'm covering leaving, etc., I live just inside the East Nuke. So I'm not in the Leaving Community Council, I'm over here. But we're doing all our Community Council meetings online. Okay. So if you want me to drop into the Community Council meeting for 5 minutes and explain what we do, I'm more than happy to do that. Just drop me a message.
Yeah, that'd be good, aye.
That'd be cool, aye.
I'll find out. Yeah. Because we are not doing online meetings. I don't know why. Well, I guess nobody on the Community Council really knows how to do that.
That's the tech savviness side of thing. Aye.
But
yeah, I'll
it's
definitely
dead easy, and the meetings are half an hour shorter because nobody talks over each other, and they just get on with it, and you get through the agenda, and then you get to just go.
Yeah,
you don't have to sort of be polite to everybody at the end. You can just switch off.
That's the bit I hate, is being polite to everybody.
Aye.
Yeah, I'm delightful, obviously, but other people would have a problem.
Well, again, Susan, thank you for Jesus, listen to me mumbling again. Unbelievable. Thanks for joining us again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Have a great night and a good weekend, guys.
Not a problem. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That was it. Susan Wilkinson. Wilkinson. I need to work on my mouth.
I was having that issue earlier.
Aye.
But you happened to have it right at the beginning.
My God, that was
right at the beginning of the interview.
I felt terrible, but I was also laughing all the way through. I can't believe I've done that, man. That was annoying.
So the problem that we have is that we are children.
Absolutely childish idiots.
As soon as one of us hits a fit of the gig,
we're both off.
Both of us just can't get back on track again. And that was a very serious problem that just happened there. I genuinely had to leave the room.
That was annoying.
I felt rude as fuck.
So, hopefully people that are listening back, I mean, they'll just get hit in real time, so hopefully they'll hear as much laughing. There was a few bits, may have disguised as coughs.
Or sneezes.
And stuff like that. That's, God, I feel bad about that. But Susan was a great sport, brilliant. Had a good laugh.
She's dope.
We got into talking about, really in depth about her work. And I liked the fact that we'd talked about 60-minute makeover for no reason.
If you cannot make timesheets interesting, I reckon what you're doing with your life.
Exactly.
Timesheets are the
bane of human existence.
Well, no, they're the best. Love it.
What?
Oh, it's paperwork. Love it.
You love paperwork?
Oh, I love being...
I knew that about you, by the way.
What?
You are a person that would like paperwork.
No, not really. I'm joking.
Oh, you're joking?
I'm doing a bit.
Oh.
I'm working on a bit.
Unbelievable. That's crazy.
Sort of copying the Mark Norman steez. Trying.
Being really sarcastic, but coming across as real.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll definitely do that Mark Norman thing next week.
If you've never heard Mark Norman before, just picture the most sarcastic arsehole in the world and ramp up. Just keep ramping up. Ramp it up as much as you can think of.
Could you ramp down your volume a wee bit?
Ramp up the sarcasm as much as you can possibly do it. And then keep going because you've not done it enough. That is how sarcastic this arsehole is. Love him. Love his comedy. Just watched his comedy special. It's hardly a special, it's on YouTube. But his comedy thing, again, great, brilliant.
It's amazing.
Love it.
I'll put a link up to that as well. And
everything that's on YouTube is just Mark Norman's funniest podcast.
You watched all that as well.
Oh,
right. So we'll sort of go through that next week. The moment where he appeared on, I think it was Good Morning Cleveland or some shit like that.
Something like that.
But we'll do that next week for sure.
Dope.
Thanks again for Susan for coming in. We had another couple of things planned, but I didn't go through it. So
what the other couple of things?
We're going to get Big Chris, who we keep berating on every podcast. Yeah. We're going to get him on because him and his girlfriend, it's their 13th anniversary. It was too last minute that I thought it was 5:45 before.
Oh, Jesus! So
they're
probably a bit busy.
I would imagine.
Maybe an anniversary and that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said if they weren't busy, they
14 years since Chris made the best decision in his life, and 14 years since his wife made the worst decision in their life. What an arsehole Chris is.
Unbelievable. We're getting these samples used though. This is going to be a common thing for me every week. This is going to be quality. Okay, so thank you very much for everybody for tuning in. As Craig suggested, I'm going to try and wait till the music is ready before I can actually put it on.
Well, before you go,
yes,
Jackson Carlos stepped in as the Conservative Party leader.
Oh fuck!
Oh, you don't know who that is?
I have no fucking idea who that
is.
Neither
do I. It's brilliant.
You're Stephanie Cheape with OK Without You,
which is what the Conservative Party is without Jackson Carlos.
Oh my god, still no playing.
Well, I need to let's keep telling shit jokes.
Here you go.
I just can't hide. You're calling my name. Dead men are chasing. Now I can't escape. Night after night, day after day. I try to run away and hide from my fear and the shame. There's just one thing I want them to know. I've got a fire that burns in my bones. Something in...
Okay, so that was the wrong song, annoyingly. Spotify again. Oh god. So Spotify basically ruined my life right there. This is Bones. Oh, sorry, actually, we're not going to play that at all. We're going to try and get back to this.
I'm going to put my headphones back on.
By Steph here. Just put your headphones back on, man. Let's just talk until we can actually get this working properly. My god, Spotify's a pain in the arse.
What happened to you? Going to just download the songs?
I'm going to have to do that. It's fucking stupid.
Spotify is definitely shit. Like.
Spotify's bollocks, man. Right, so here we go. Hopefully with Stephanie.
Here we go.
Stephanie Cheape, okay without you. It's still loading. It should be. Is that it?
I can hear it. Aye.
Right.
I don't know if this is the right song, but it sounds like a song.
Gotta get this off my chest. I think it's for the best. It's time to say goodbye. Little things got me obsessed. Now they make me depressed. It's just me, myself, and I. 'Cause you never catch me when I'm falling. This is over, let's be honest. You gotta let me go. And if every time my heart was broken, I would panic, pull you closer, or shouldn't you go? I'm so lonely with you. Feels like we're in this too. The truth hurts, but lies were hers. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. Now it feels like I can breathe. Wish I had disbelief in myself before we met. I know it's hard to hear, but remember what you said to me. I sure have no regrets. And if every time my heart was broken, I would panic, pull you closer, or shouldn't you go? I'm so lonely with you. Feels like we're in this too. The truth hurts, but lies were hers. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. I'm so lonely with you. Feels like we're in this too. The truth hurts, but lies were worse. I'm okay without you. I'm so lonely with you. Feels like we're in this too. The truth hurts, but lies were hers. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. I'm okay without you. Gotta get this off my chest. I think it's for the best. It's time to say goodbye.